So, back at it again. So, I want to probably get to this or probably get stuff off my chest before I start the video. So, as y'all know that Zero and Third World Columbia had it out. So, Third World Columbia, like I said before back in May, I told people how Third World Columbia was. I told everybody how he was. I told his tackers. I told everything about him, how he moved and everything else. A lot of people were still trying to be cool with him, taking up for him. Guys like C said, who's young, said, trying to take up for him and say he's not a simp, and then he ended up turning on everybody. It's like, at some point, you got to listen to somebody older. You got to listen to older people who seen dudes like this before and don't take up for this dude. Because I kind of knew that he was going to turn on somebody. And he picked Zero because he felt like what these dudes fear. And I'm going to give you a tactic on these people. And this is to the young guys and for people who ignorant. These guys never would have thought that the guys that they talk down to, the guys that they thought less of, would actually have a backing. They never thought that we would have as many people as we have on our side like we do. So this is why they attack SYSBM, MGTOW, and all this other stuff, because it's amazing to them that they're at a disadvantage. It's amazing. It amazes them that they don't have as many people as the other side. So now they see it, and it's a little bit too late, that the younger generation don't want to hear what they say, and they're trying to come back to restart the bullcrap that they've been on for the past 50 years. They want another generation of bullshit, and then when they out the door, when half of them are dead, then the guys that are older than this generation will get blamed for the stuff that they did. So they're trying to dirty up the house before they get kicked out, and then the people who move into the house gotta clean it up. But for some odd reason, it's too much dirt in the house for us to clean up, and it's gonna take a long time. And then somebody comes in like an inspector and look at the house and say, "Y'all dirty people." But like, no, we didn't do that. The other ones did that. No, y'all did it. Y'all took a long time to clean up the mess. So what guys now trying to do is basically, is we're trying to clean up the mess that these old people and all this dysfunctional culture did before. We don't want another Platinum Elite. We don't want another Ism. We don't want another DJ Kuda. We don't want another all these different player guys, Angry Man, all these people, Reg the Bad Guy, Super Slide, D Darrell. I can name them off by the list of guys who hypocritical, who did some snake shit. Ramil Amir, O'Shea, Obsidian. There's a lot of people that I can name off the top that have done some fucked up shit, or have as literally act like females. They're trying to get you to the plantation and trying to make you into whatever these women want. Now I'm gonna show you some screenshots after I finish this beginning dialogue. So you have people in this space who believe in this good woman shit, but they're asking for base level shit. I've been around other races of people, and I can tell you that these women are fake. Why is no younger women out here fighting as hard as the MGTOW or Red Pill? Why haven't they come up with a solution to the black family problem already? Remember, they have all the money. These so-called good women have all the money. These good women somehow is out there, and some guys on here thinking they can convince the younger generation, but the younger generation they're not having kids because they're having a lot of abortions, but they got a lot of STDs, mental conditions, and all this other stuff. I can show right now that there's a 50-50 of the younger generation of black men that are actually going to be okay. Like before the internet, before all this, the number was about at least 10%. 10% of black men, didn't have kids and all this other stuff, and they took a long time to realize that what they was in was fucked up. It was dumb. It was stupid. It was useless. Now the younger generation have now seen this for their own eyes, and it became 50%. I even could say 60%. The rest, they're done. They're going to turn into the next generation. They're going to turn into the next generation pimps, ARCs, all these other people that come out here with game and what's it called, hoes. We going to do this with the hoes and all this. Look, black people need black families. And they need righteous and good people. They need people with standards. Because everybody else has a certain standards. The Mexican has a wife who's loyal to him, even though he has a small package, he's short, but he works hard, and it's in his culture for the man to be respected no matter what he looks like and no matter what he brings to the bedroom. A lot of these women have the same talking points when they so-called, quote-unquote, helping the good guy. All of them talk against the good guy. But when you look at other races, they always want the good guy. They love the good guy. They make sure that they're open for the good guy because they see so many bad men and they see the real consequences of what bad men do. This is the reason why guys go overseas, because the women have a realization when they're 12, 13, 14, even 11 and 9 by their mom and their dad telling them, don't get with a guy because you're going to end up dead. Don't get with a guy because you're going to end up being a single mom and you're going to end up being a laughing stock of the community. No one's going to take you. I remember a story, I think in 2019 or 2018, of a Colombian woman. I think it was in Colombia. In Colombia, the woman, she was a single mom. She couldn't find no man. No man wanted to get her. No man wanted to take her ass. They was probably pumping and dumping her. But no man wanted to marry her. So what she did was took her life and took her kid's life with her. She was on a bridge with her kid, hugging up on him, saying she don't want to live and blah, blah, blah. No one likes her and all this other stuff. And then she jumped off the bridge with her kid. See, there's a real definite of in America, in other cultures, that you're shamed if you don't have a boyfriend by a certain time. You're shamed if you don't have a husband. You can't sit back and say you're independent and you still need men, or you sit back and say things like, when you get 50 years old or 40 years old and you wore out, you try to make certain stories up and say 40-year-old women and 50-year-old women got higher sex drives than the younger girls. Or say stuff like, where are the good men at? After all the little mindset stuff wear off. Look, what you see out here is a lot of women having psychological breaks. That Tory Lauren bull crap that happened, all of the messed up mental conditions that these women go through when they cut their hair off, trying to cut off their femininity, and then they realize that they need to make money and they need to be feminine and they need this, but they need to turn it on and turn it off. You got a lot of pansexual chicks out here acting like they this and they that. You got a lot of them. They're like a little kid in the candy store, and then they eat all the candy in the store, and they get sick. And now they want you to rub their belly, or they want a doctor to help them get over the stomach ache. These women are messed up, and the reason why I got this on the page is now a lot of guys are not fearful of being stigmatized about having so-called sex dolls. Now they posing with them. And this doesn't look like a Pookie and a Ray Ray. He might be, he might not be. He might be a reformed Pookie. Because most Pookies can't leave vagina alone. Look at Vermeil in the mirror. when he tried to control men's penis and tell them that they gotta sit back because we're behind, guys. But I can feel my needs, but you can't feel yours, even if you don't want the women on this market. Like, the women over here are failures. If you can't convince a group of men who so-called don't get vagina, and you can't convince them to sleep with you, you are a failure. It's not up to the men to go to the women. It's up to the women to go with the men. This is why other cultures of women walk up to men from America. They know it's scarce. A lot of women, in general, every society learned that women need competition to act right. Women need to feel that they need to be replaced to act right. And women shouldn't have a whole bunch of choices that men should have, because men, eventually they put it down. The women, they're never going to put it down. They ruin lives. They make men commit suicide. They get off on trying to push men into women that they absolutely don't want or don't need. And then they use their drones, like, you know, all these player guys and these guys talking trash. They're trying to do so much where they're telling you that you need vagina, you need to change your ways. They want to completely make sure that you're a fall guy. What they're trying to do to you, the younger generation, is making you the next generation of fall guys. Because these women would never pinpoint all the men that they've been with, because if they show their hand of the men that they've been with, then they can be blamed for their choices. So they can say all men. But I never see it on the other side that I never see a argument on a point of the other side when these women been saying they can't find a man. There's no good man out here. I don't see a lot of these so-called women dating advocate chicks like a Danica or whatever her name is. I don't see them saying, you need to mess with these guys. You need to mess with those guys, those nice guys. You need to do this and need to do that. You need to do this and do that. When I hear these people, these so-called women advocates, these men advocates, or these women acting like they're trying to change the dynamic, I never hear them say that men don't want women who cause drama and trouble for their man. I never hear these women say, you got to be tolerable to be with. You can't be annoying 100%. Oh, here we go. I never hear these so-called women advocates say these type of things to the women. That they can't be annoying. They have to be more different than the next one. They gotta be more, they gotta give the man, they gotta see if the man has been they have to see if the man was sexually satisfied and make sure that he is. They always go to the same, tactics of, oh yeah, be a good woman and all this other stuff, but they never put the details in what being a good woman is. Being a good woman is a day-to-day, year-to-year, month-to-month. Oh no, day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, year-to-year. That's what a good woman is right there, man. They're not advocating for this because they never come out with that list. Don't make enemies. Find opportunities for your man so he can become better. Not for yourself, but for both of you. Avoid temptation. Leave a dysfunctional culture alone. Don't bring any drama and don't bring any drama towards your man. Fit into your man's schedule. If he's a person that's on time and punctual, don't destroy his track record with your irresponsibility. Don't bring in debt. Don't bring in, don't block. Don't tell this man not to do something and you let other guys do what they want to do to you. I never hear that stuff on the other side for these women who try to sit back, oh, the good guys are pushovers and stuff. No. And a lot of people got that wrong. No, good guys they're tolerable of the environment, and they also tolerable, and they don't want to turn into what other guys are turned into. They want to be their own way. They want to be their own man. You see these guys bragging about women, sleep with people's wives and girlfriends. A lot of guys don't want to never be that guy. Don't want to be a scumbag. And a lot of these guys who so-called get women, they're scumbag type dudes. And it shows that a lot of women like guys that they can throw their responsibilities on, or they can throw the blame on. Oh, he seduced me. Oh, he manipulated me. Oh, I was protecting him. We like these type of guys, but I was protecting him. It's always somebody else's fault. And I don't know why guys in the middle of 2020 in a pandemic, you're listening to females pretending like they good, and you're taking simple shit. Making food doesn't make a chick a good woman. What else is it out there? People talking about women making a guy food is a good woman. That's not a good woman. What is it? Cleaning a house is not a good woman. It's a lot of aspects of what a good woman is, and the only time you can get a good woman is if she actually showed she was a good woman from the start. That her mom showed her that. And she follows your directions. Even in the beginning of the relationship, if you give her wife roles, then she shouldn't complain about it. But instead, you got a lot of I gotta wait. Just wait. Okay, like I was saying, because people walking past, the park is full. Dude just walked past and everything else. So, like I was saying, a lot of these so-called good women are online trying to convince that there's other women like them, and they're poor representation of good women. You don't see a lot of good women online at so-called 5, 7 o'clock being so-called good women and then not attending to their husbands. There's a lot of these dudes are capable of fake good women. Because I remember when I told the story before when I saw an Arab dude smack the shit out of his wife for her laughing at another man. And he told her straight up, why are you trying to create enemies for me? And even he in his culture knows that a woman who keeps her mouth open, who goes around, you don't marry a chick who causes you enemies, because you can end up dead. You don't go around being with a woman who don't know how to shut her mouth or has an opinion about everybody else and making fun of you and talking down to you and talking down to other people, because that's going to create enemies for you. And then eventually you won't know who hit you, because your wife has said many things to other people. There's got a guy on this right now who seemed like a Ray or whatever, or he just got out of jail or something, and his wife is constantly online talking down to people, and she said even in real life she can't keep her mouth shut. She laugh at people in their face. So that if he dies, it's on her, because like I said before, I know guys who who probably got put in the ground because they was with a girl who didn't know how to keep her mouth shut. You know, a lot of these women like using their husbands. A lot of these women like using their husbands as bodyguards and attack dogs. I've been through it a lot of times where women be like, oh, my man will beat your ass. My husband will beat your ass. My son will beat your ass, and this and that. It's like, you don't know who you talking to. And they could just run up on your son in college or anything else. You don't use your men as cannon fodder. And the difference between a good woman is that she stays in her position. Also, good women are good to everyone. And there's a reason why women in other cultures and real good women, they latch on to men and they stay around that man. You know a reason why they stay around that man and they keep close to that guy? Because they want to know every single thing about that dude. And hopefully the man knows every single thing about that woman. The whole point of y'all coming together and being together is basically y'all knowing each other's pattern and communicating with each other. Good women will stick to you like glue. And also good women know that they can't go anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere without a crowd or without their boyfriend or their husband. You know why? Because then the woman can actually be as kind and generous as she can. But she has a protector, her man. You will never see a so-called real good woman walk into a gas station by herself and then get hollered over and then screamed at him. Oh, yeah, whoa, hey, baby, yeah. Get hooping and hollered over. No, she coming with the guy. The guy's walking right with her. And dudes will still be disrespectful, but at the same time, she don't have to deal with that stuff. Because then, to get the numbers down, all you got to do is carry. Okay, y'all want to play. And you walking around with your burner. Like, it's not that hard. And that's the whole protection piece. A lot of these so-called fake good women, they want the protection and the provider. She wants somebody to provide and protect them while she get to go out here and do whatever she want and have fun. And then get herself in a situation and you supposed to save her. No. There's a lot of women. That's the reason why a lot of women literally plan their moves. They hang around certain people. They make sure that they go to their husbands and ask their husbands to come with them in certain situations so they don't have to deal with the danger. Because she needs to understand that this guy is providing and protecting her. So he needs to have full access to what she does. Same thing with a guy. He has to have full access he has to have some communication with the chick. But these good women and these so-called advocate women like a Danica and all these other people, they never talk about that. Because they always talk down to other guys. They never try to see the benefits of the guys who don't get no women or the benefits of the guys. They want you to do what everybody else is doing. They trying to get a hybrid of Pookie and Ray Ray and Nerdy Guy. A Pookie and Ray Ray anime lover. A Pookie and Ray Ray video game a gamer. They want a hybrid. And if you haven't been in the street, they want you to act that way. They want you to wear fitted hats. They don't want you to be yourself. So that's the reason why a lot of guys go overseas. I have seen more successful relationships that resemble what I said a good woman is in those former people and these women overseas than the women over here. And there's a reason why the women in SYSBM, the husbands, because the husbands tell them, don't go around certain people. Don't go around those men. Stay away from her. Don't talk to her. You have to have some type of control because that's your chick. That's the reason why y'all say my chick. Dude, that's the reason why she says my man. There's a responsibility that both of y'all hold on above each other in order to operate. But these chicks want you to have responsibility for them only, and they're not going to be under you. They can do whatever they want. This is the reason why a lot of dudes are getting cheated on and everything else, because the fact is, if she's with a so-called gay best friend, a gay best friend, you gotta look at him. Oh, I want to meet him. Oh, no. If she keeps saying no, then you dump her right away. Because 9 times out of 10, she's messing with that guy. And then you see them together and you see them chatting to each other. You had to have a general conversation with all her friends. Because that's what dudes do. They vet the people that they with. They vet the people that these people know. And then you look at them and be like, okay, now I know what kind of chick she is, what kind of woman this chick is that I'm with, that I'm about to be with, because her friend is ratchet. This GAY seem like they too close and too, what's it called? I'm a dropper. And a lot of guys, they don't really like, when you look at the side of the so-called good dudes, they don't have no connection with dysfunctional people. They leave them right alone. A lot of them have pretty much detached it from all their friends. And they're doing the right thing. A lot of guys, you can know that a lot of guys on the opposite side, the so-called, the good men, not the fake good men, the so-called good women are still hanging around ratchet people in their family. The good men, the different men, the frontline men, they pretty much disown their own family because they know they wasn't about nothing, and they left. See, that's a big thing about that, is that a lot of good dudes are willing to walk away and travel and be or go by themselves. A lot of these so-called good women still need a crowd. They're not gonna try to search for their man by themselves. They gotta be in a crowd, or they gotta be on the carousel, and then act like they wasn't on the carousel, and then they come back acting like they're good. I know the distinct difference between a good woman and a bad woman, because you just ask them certain questions. And good women don't really be in the mess of bad women. And the good women also call the bad women out. And they leave a certain area. I see a lot of good women who left Facebook groups because they seen just how I was getting treated bad by the whole group. This chick I was cool with, she was married. She was like, I'm disgusted by this group. How they making fun of guys and this and that? Y'all should be congratulating them that they're not a part of this bullshit. She like, I can't be in here no more. And when I looked and went back and asked, is she still in the group? She wasn't. She completely left. And that's the whole thing about good women. Their word is their bond. If they say they're going to be with you, they're going to be with you. They don't get tempted. They don't care about other men. They care about you. And like I said, they'll give up their entire family. Once they are connected to you, they'll give up their whole family for you. They will literally jump out a window for you. They will literally do everything you ask them to do just for your benefit. Because she knows if you benefit something, then it benefits both of you. And she pays attention to your instructions. Like, it's a shame that a lot of guys are still stuck on this hope shit and stay stuck on this stuff that like they can really change this stuff. And a younger generation of men, they only rock with certain guys in this space who's on this tip of, yeah, man, I want to change the dynamics between black women and black men. They only with them because they're cool. And it's good to see. It's good to see that the different black men have a voice, and these dudes that they listen to their whole life don't have a voice no more. And it's a different perspective. It's a different views. And that's what we was. The whole black community was an echo chamber for 60 years. Just now, from like 2000 I could say 2004 to 2020, we finally started having a voice and fighting back. And we started changing the paradigm. Started changing society. Yeah, we'll never win, but at the same time, we gonna make sure that they don't have any more victims to claim no more. And the victims they do claim, that'll be small numbers. MGTOW, SYSBM, even incels have changed the dynamics, the way people treat, the change the dynamics, and close a lot of predatory institutions. Marriage is low. A lot of women are not having kids like that no more. A lot of guys see what kind of woman they talking to before they get into a relationship now. Like, a lot of dudes already have the actual book plan. But a lot of guys need to have a refresher. And I think this is what it is. A lot of guys have to have a new perspective and new voices saying the same thing, but at a different person that they can relate to. Right? So you have people who mix out, but a lot of dudes might not think that white guys know the same thing, know the same kind of struggles they deal with. Because with black men, they're trying to use us as entertainers. I even heard on Rant the Bad Guys panel of these stupid niggas, because that's what they are, say that you got to put something educational and you have to make it entertaining. Huh? I never heard Asian guys say that you have to make something educational and not boring. I never heard white guys say you have to make something educational and not boring. I never hear Indian guys say you have to make something educational and not boring. And it's like, wow, these people are, no wonder they lost, man. No wonder they lost. But, you know, D the Rail popped up on, Reg the Bad Guy channel to spot off his nonsense, even though he was debunked for like 2 months and he failed. But Reg is the guy who let other people talk on his shit, and then he comes in and do kind of a he kind of let certain guys go on his panels so other people can talk trash, but you see what kind of person he is on what kind of side he is compared to the people he replied to. Like, he's tight with ARC, but he don't like Obsidian. And it's like, dude, you know the optics of what it looks like that you live with your mom? And these are this is the hypocritical shit that we see in the so-called black community, where one guy sit to say, who got a gut, who don't want to go nowhere, don't want to travel, call niggas incels and say they need to self-improve. But when you look at him, his whole body, dude, fat as shit. And it's like, why are you talking about anything about women? You don't look like you ever got any woman. But then, you know, he gets mad when you say, you know, he lives with his mom, even though he said it online. Then he want to come and spit, you know, stuff to Game Changer and say Stovegate. And the funny thing about that is that he tells guys that they should have never, he should have never said that, but they didn't, they dudes like Reg and all these other guys, they always take what somebody said and twist it around. Like, did they forget that he said he smashed the chick multiple times? But then they want to keep going back to the whole thing. This is why we can't work together. Third World Columbia is an example of why nobody want to work together. And I'm also proud of the guys who will stand on their ground and the younger generation to stand on their ground and say, fuck this. I am who I am. I don't know how old this dude is, but at least he's not afraid to show that he'd rather take these sex dolls over real women. And then I took this picture from the pipe down, the ones who had an adult entertainer, an old one at that, not a one in the game, and not a one in the industry, and the adult industry, and made the whole manosphere look ridiculous, inviting male adult film stars instead of females. And then you had guys on the panel saying all this other stuff. It's like, man, it becomes a little bit more like they're trying to be shot callers, and they're trying to make their way and trying to make you control your language and control your voice, even though they had their way for 60 years. But now they want to see like they good women, and they want to try to understand the other side, but still throw insults out there and still think they can control people. Like I said before, I talk about this in many videos. That's my limit for the rant that I got of, you know, guys who think that somehow they're going to be able to change the dynamics between black women and black men. And like, I might title this, you know, I don't know, I might title this the dreamers of the community. Probably like, oh man, we hope they get back together type guys. I want what these guys are telling you they want what they want what they saw when they're family members. It's like, huh? We ain't gonna have that in this generation. I can tell you right now, that the boys are more ready to have families than the females. You know why? Because there's a lot of interracial couples out here that you see out here who are married or got a long-time girlfriend. And these are the black dudes who somehow didn't fit the description for black women, but fit the description for better looking women from other races just fine. So, yeah, man. A lot of this stuff is kind of annoying and it drags on. And my whole point of me showing you certain things is me digging it in there. Like, me, I focus on certain things if you go into that hole. Like, right now, after this video, I'm going to show you what it's like when you do get to the sex with these women. They still want to control you. And they still want to control you, and they still have power over you in the sex. So I'm going to show you of a situation that I talked about, I think, back in May of Allegation Mania. Or I think it was in June, because a lot of shit happened in May and June, man. Yeah. So I'm going to make that video and show you the screenshots that I took of the way they could even if you give them good sex, even if you give them all this stuff, money and all this stuff, they will still turn on you. This is how these women are programmed nowadays. So yeah, after this, I might title this some other way. I might title this some other thing, but the fact is, man, this whole video was about like a little rant on the whole situation between Zero and what's his name, and actually exposed that these so-called good women activists, they're coming up because they think that they're going to be the ones. They think they're going to be the ones who going to get men to come back to the table with this fake behind women stuff. And it's not working. And it ain't gonna work. And I'm also trying to point out the guys who still stuck on this mindset that we all gonna get together, or we gonna try to get with these women, and they gonna try to get the younger generation to get with these women. The younger generation don't want to hear it. They're listening to certain guys on this platform, probably me too, to hear a different perspective. But a lot of them don't want to hear the words of telling you to get back with these women, with these chicks who ruin guys' lives and who can't even do what they should do. Like I said right from the back, chicks are supposed to do what dudes do, even if she knows a stranger. She's supposed to make it accommodating for him. You're not supposed to jump through hoops to get with women. You don't. If you got the worst looking guy out here getting women in other cultures, then why can't the worst looking men get women without all this other extra shit? Right? A lot of these women have cashed their checks to the wrong dudes, and now they don't want to cash it. They don't have no more checks to cash for the guys that do need the opportunity to show them that they're good men, because they gave it to somebody else. So you can only do that but once or twice. After that, some of these people are just done. They're jaded already. And also, a lot of these women, so-called good women, didn't save a lot of things for the so-called good men. They didn't save their best sexual experience for their husband or or longtime boyfriend. They didn't save certain locations. They didn't save a lot for the men they said that they so-called good for. They didn't save a lot for them. But I see a lot of men out here saving a lot of things for women. A lot of these good dudes, including myself, are saving certain things when I get into a relationship, if I get into a relationship with a woman again. certain places I'm gonna take her, certain things I'm gonna do for her. I'm saving that up. I'm not gonna get that shit to every other fucking female. Only one female that I gave to, and that was my ex-fiance. That's all. And then I charged back up, and I got other new ideas. You're supposed to be a creative person. Here we go. So you're supposed to be a creative person. Like I said before, like there's many different things that I got, planned for the next girlfriend or the fiance or the wife or whatever. I'm not gonna give that shit away to random motherfucking females. They gonna get the bland shit, and they just gonna get that. But these women are giving out every single experience they got, and then they give the men that they with who does do the right thing this used up experience. And it's not the same kind of experience because this is not her first time doing this stuff. And then she puts limits on the good guy and the stuff that he can do because she's already did it. So I can go on and on, but I don't want to go on. I want to get this other video out. So yeah, that's about it, man.